Check, check. So 10:05 p.m. It sounds like there was a get together at some point where people gathered to like get all my things from like my friends or my family or something, and they like just deliberately were like, "Screw you, I hope he dies," and then like break it. And they had a party where they were just like breaking my things potentially, which sounds weird, but I could see that happening at a bonfire or something like that. And so, yeah, dude, it sounds like when they buried my tree or something, that's where that party kind of got started too. And so once people thought, "Hey, let's teach this guy a lesson then. He'll never come back to the body modification community as far as he lives," right? And you guys like somehow got my parents involved with my sister, and then that's how everybody like met up and met with Turner even got invited. I'm somewhere along the line, if I'm not mistaken, because STEM's in this dream. And if Jake and Turner, because Turner does tool and die and CNC, and he's in the gun community, which wouldn't be far off from where he's at with Jake and all of them, just across the way. Because Jake knows some people, and Wes Sulzman, I know his sister, and like we had like chill time hanging out one night, and like that's probably where he knows plenty of people who own factories and like pole barns with a ton of equipment. Everybody knows everybody and is related to the working people here in Michigan, which is why it gets really complicated if people went out of their way to deliberately have a party, like a I hate Blitzo party, to just like basically encourage each other to like just warn like some cult shit. It's like how the cult will take a note of the violent people in town in case the cult needs to handle its business. So that's probably one big reason why I'm being left out of my current positioning in my charting and stuff is these are gypsies. These are my fellow gypsies. But because I know what's I've been able to formulate, and I get the picture. Like people got lost along the way on whatever it was for me. And there I've got four powers above me that kind of also keep me going too. So like I can't control everything people are gonna do behind my back, but it sounds like they went way out of their way to have some slander party, and now the cult, the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, and other like occult lifestyles, like the Juggalos and ICP and stuff like that, who get the biker tattoos. It gets filtered in really quick with my some of my urban lanes out in Chicago because I'm a part of like the urban tattoo, like kind of Goa freaking DJ stuff. Really quickly will like start to overlap into like some of the hippie stuff. And I just went on a big rant as to why I'm not invited to the DJ stuff in Detroit is because they all use Ableton instead of Reason. And so our audio DAWs don't match up and people kind of get picky over stems. I've been in and out of the business long enough, but I took a hiatus to make money on modeling. And that's where they went as far as they could to be like, look, you're not a part of the body modification scene. You're not in the art scene. Um, get out. So like I imagine it basically comes to the way because that's all that is here in mid Michigan. And again, I know the Aryan Brotherhood is out here in Michigan and they're not always here to like deter people away from it. As much as they're just trying to look away. And so I've made sure that I make my mom happy and I talk to these gentlemen with respect and stuff like that because I'm in Michigan, and my dad's a brown Hawaiian, and we have to protect my brown Hawaiian dad. But that's where like everybody's picked a side, and money rules the way. And because my parents have money, and I'm in trouble, they're like, "Don't you help that kid." And like my mom's like, "Nope, I already got him. I already got him." But it's like stupid, and it's like It's so dumb. So it's so simple. Anyone in my aunt, it got my aunt involved. And so that's why there's people in my dreams and like bunch of people have been spying on me. I'm in the back rooms in my dreams. And it's just like all grandiose. It's a little too dramatic to just be like, it's all real because I've been through some really intense hallucinogenic like passages in my life and like psychotic events and stages that I didn't plan on having while on drugs. And like now when I've experienced life sober, it's basically way easier. I basically took on like level 70 at like a novice intern out in Chicago at 18. I was sheltered and then unsheltered and then reestablished. And that's why I'm kind of giving the kibosh to this artful tattoo Hispanic white clashing culture community on trying to show people on aims and why they're throwing me to the wayside on Mexican privilege in Michigan when I'm like Polynesian and when I only have like a small portion of Puerto Rican, but because I blend in with the South American anarchists, they give the profile of like a pirate. So people think that I'm like a something and it freaks out the clan and other people and the cops. So everybody's, but then I'm like over here like pissing people off, rapping and stuff like that because people take themselves way too seriously. And there's a reason for that. Because obviously people are placed have different placements in the world at different times. And it's just too obvious. This is where my placement belongs and it needs to be. And so there's got to be some sight. It's going to be shoulder to shoulder to see some of the acts that we have placed forward or I've got curated for everybody here because it doesn't seem like it was say all end all on my sister or my mom or anything like that. And there's some loose ends. I won't be too particular, but it just seems like there's some loose ends here. And well, it all starts with these tattoo shops and what my friends are involved in already previously they're a part of the Greek fraternities, which that becomes Proud Boy really quick. So on the other side of my life instead of tattoos it's like this preppy white stuff so like I'm being followed as some weird Polish vagrant and vagabond instead of like a lifeguard Hawaiian guy and it's like a big part of how I dress how big I am all these other things that people have replaced me with taller more hot Asians. So like it could be why people don't want me to it's gotten me all hung up on transitioning. And so that's like a huge reason why like I think people are just like they don't care, but they don't know how to deal with the weight of any of it and they won't do it alone. So like that's why I am assuming people went out, stepped aside, and had their own little heyday of like hopefully it's all true, right? This won't come back to bite us. No, never has. This isn't the first time we've done this to this guy, unfortunately. So like that's possibly why people like again, it's just like another way of Michigan, and I don't expect. I've always been in and out of this part of Michigan. I didn't go to prom, other things like that. That I kind of make sure that I take care of. So that's probably all that's going on. Is people thought they were gonna do something revolutionary with my life, and like that's not the case. And so like people are just stuck with the bills, it seems like. So I'm supposed to get evicted, but it seems like the cops already know that the tattoo guys, the government, the FBI guys, and the state professors that are studying the echo chamber on particle acceleration, any of the feedback loop of bullshit that's going on down at the freaking doctors that keep my mom's heart in her chest. It shouldn't be charged for any weird curses that have happened out of those things because they knew that the placements would have been where they needed to be and that this is in the taxpayer's budget. So if anything's out of place, it's on the banks. It's not on the state. So that's where my mom's put it. That's where my dad's and the tattoo shops put it and the government put it. But then the government has also put laid stake that there's privilege here in opportunity, and that if I truly am innocent, I can prove it. So I'm standing in some of that because it's and if we're past that, I we're past it. But it doesn't mean that it just becomes the truth because you will it into existence. So that's probably where we end up at is like people see what they want, they do what they want, and they'll trash your life if they want. So stay safe, everybody. People are stupid. They made bad mistakes and like they can't undo them. So be safe.